Well, thank you everybody for coming. There might be a few more that pop in, but I just wanted to thank a few people. Thank you, of course, all the authors for coming out. I'm so happy, especially on this gorgeous day. And thank you to the people that helped set up everything. Thank you to my mom who came up with this idea in the first place. She's like, it would be so amazing if you could get together with all your amazing authors that you published their amazing books for. And I thought, oh, this is a great idea. So then I thought, oh, is any author going to want to do it? So I contacted everybody early and everybody was in. So I thought, this is so exciting. Yes. All right, so this afternoon is something just truly special. Today we get to step inside the writing and publishing journey through different perspectives and genres, like so different from each other, but so unique in their own way. That's what I love so much. So many of these authors once wondered if publishing was going to be too hard, too expensive, too complicated, and too impossible, and yet here they are, sitting here among us with their amazing thing that they have created. Yes. They each took the leap, and now they're holding their books in their hands, which is the best feeling in the world. And they are going to share their hearts and books with the world. So my hope is that as we are here today, that you would feel encouraged if you're maybe thinking about writing a book, uplifted, whether that's writing a book or just enjoying their books. It's about ordinary people doing amazing things with the stories that God has placed in their hearts. So settle in, enjoy refreshments back there, and yeah, we're just going to have such a fun time. So here is the intro. Oh, I forgot I have a PowerPoint here. I got so excited. There's the welcome. All right, so who knew back in 2006 that I would start this incredible adventure that would just involve all of us? Who knew, like, the God connections? I just love that. I wrote the first chapter of my first book, but it wasn't until 2012 before I took the leap and found out how possible it really is. Because I thought it was really crazy hard, just like everybody does. And it was a long journey, lots of learning, constant updates. There's still updates that I'm learning. We come across them with the authors. And I'm like, I have never seen this happen before. Okay, let's learn this new thing. But I just realized that how I could take all that I've learned and make it easy for others and be the go-between person to kind of help with some of those questions. So once I found out the truth, I knew that I couldn't keep this awesome secret to myself, but I wanted to help more amazing authors with their publishing dreams that they had so that I could help them come true. So in 2017, I launched Pure Books Publishing Company and have now published over 80 books for myself and others. And it's been such a joy to work with these talented authors. I learn new things every time I help someone new, and it's just so fun. And I just can't get over the unique talents of these people right here. And it's just my absolute dream to honor them today. So I'm going to introduce some of the authors. So Bethany wanted to be here, but she wasn't feeling well from a surgery, so we will miss her. But Carol Grinna, she is from Detroit Lakes. Carol, give a wave. She wrote A Day in the Bog with Frog and Dog, and it was published, I know, don't you love the title? It was published in 2022, and this is such a fun book. I love how it follows Bob, who lives in a cabin in northern Minnesota right next to a bog. And Bob has two very special pets with delightfully swapped names, a frog named Dog and a dog named Frog. I just love the writing flow and the fun names and the rhyming. Rhyming to me is really hard, so I was just amazed by that. And not to mention the beautiful illustrations, and she actually has her illustrator right next to her, yes. And she brought her beautiful artwork and some more on that table. Amazing. She can do so many things. Yes, and I love the watercolor design of it all. I'm a watercolor person, and it's also fun because it's information about bogs in Minnesota, and she wants to get attention from all the state parks, which is amazing and not easy. No. Next we have, oh, she wasn't able to make it either. Oh, next we have Deborah McNally. Give a wave, Deborah, yes. She is from Glenwood and published Little Sparks of Romance in 2015 and Be Prayerful in November of 2015. Little Sparks of Romance is so fun because it's short romance stories. And she is so famous. She's been in magazines. Her writing is in magazines. What is the magazine called?
Women's World.
Women's World.
Yep.
That is not easy to get in a magazine like that. Yeah. And so I love how each story is very much its own. And at the end of each one, it just is so satisfying. I don't know how she does it with a short story. She just comes full circle and makes each story so complete. You just feel so satisfied when you're done. And also, she has amazing recipes in the book as well. She even brought some Swedish cookies in the back there. Yes. So they are deep and tasteful, and there's even some recipes. Like I said, I'm following my notes. And her Be Prayerful book is so special too. It helps you pray if you feel stuck in certain situations. And she covers so many topics. I never even thought of some of them to pray for, but I was very inspired. So, yes. And she added a bee design throughout the book, which is beautiful, especially the reason behind it, but I don't want to give too much away in case she wants to save some. All right, next we have, Eugene Rossum. Is that how you say it? Yep. Rossum? Yes, he is from Starbuck. Yes, thank you for coming. And he wrote Living with Autism and published in 2021, then published Poems My Mother Wrote in 2022.
Wow.
Living with Autism is a true story about his grandson and he even has a picture of him there, and how he and his wife cared for him. He shares personal stories of everything he's gone through, and he has been through a lot. You guys have been through so much. What would your grandson do without you? Yeah. Yes, you have saved his life. And anyway, it showed how to find the best care for their grandson. It just shows how much he has sacrificed and how much he loves his grandson. Information on his communication and relationship with him, and it also really encourages other families and caregivers on their journey. I know we've talked about you a lot, Jean, lately. My uncle, I'm a guardian, so is my dad and my sister for my uncle, and we've been going through a lot, and we always think about, okay, remember what Jean went through. And then his book, Poems My Mother Wrote, is such a beautiful window into his mother's heartfelt poems, her faith, and finding joy in everyday beauty and family memories. Is just such a way to honor her life. So it was very beautiful. Next we have Kara Talarud. Yes! She's from Pelican Rapids and has written 7 books in 2023 and 2024.
Wow.
Seeds from the Secretary series, the Fortune Cookie Messages 1 and 2, Brindle and Phelan's Museum Visit. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these. They're so pretty, though. Ajon's Farm Alphabetical Adventure, Works of Heart, Art, I love that, and Everybody's Angel. And I love how she sees the world around her and the playful and fascinating way she describes it in her books. Every time I publish one of her books, I'm just like, oh my gosh, how did you think of all those ideas? So amazing. And she always turns it back to God, which I love so much. It is truly amazing. And her knowledge of museums, design, language, photography, and fortune cookie messages is just truly amazing. And she does amazing crafts too. And she has beautiful homemade, handmade little squares of, like, she uses her fabric and she sews them. It's so gorgeous, and they're free. So make sure you all get one. I did the authors in order of alphabetical of their first names because I didn't know what order to put these. So next up is my sister, Natalie All. And she lives in Elbow Lake and has written 30 or a little bit more cookbooks published from 2019 to 2026. And she was my first customer. But she could forgive and give me lots of patience because she's my sister. And some of her cookbooks are over 300 pages. And so we definitely learned a lot going through that. But she makes it easy. She designs everything. and then just has me finish it up. So I'm just amazed at how she keeps coming up with these simple, delicious, sugar and flour-free recipes. She's a genius in the kitchen. She's been called an evil genius in a good way. And is constantly, like every day, working on her cooking. Seriously. And she is an advertising guru. And I try to be like her with my books, but she's got it made. So when we were ready to quit eating sugar and flour free, we could not eat any more broccoli, steamed broccoli, and baked chicken. We were like going to quit, and then she started making recipes, and we thought, okay, we can do this. And we've been doing it for 7 years, so that's so awesome. She has sold her books all over the world. It's amazing, the connections. Next up is Norma Carlson. She is from Carlisle and has written 3 books published in 2020 and 2022. Caddy's Journey is an adorable story of a caterpillar named Caddy who invites the reader to follow her amazing transformation from caterpillar to butterfly. The story is beautiful, especially since Norma raises butterflies, so she knows what she's talking about, and she brings it back to the Lord, how he transforms us, and it has touched so many lives. She travels all over for her job, and she gives books away all the time. It's amazing. And then she's got Lulu Lopsy. It's adorable. It's about a service animal and how the Lulu found God's plan for her life. Yes. Then her 3rd book, ABC Christian Alphabetical Book, is a bright, faith-centered ABC books that walks children through the alphabet using biblical concepts. And it's just so fun. Each letter introduces a word or an idea connected to Scripture. It's very powerful. Next we have Sue Luke. Yes. She's from Alexandria, wrote Marcus the Christmas Mouse, and it was published in 2024. This book is so beautiful and fun, and it opens with a playful twist on the classic Christmas rhyme and continues throughout the book. The rhyming is just amazing. Again, I don't know how to rhyme, so it's just amazing. And the story takes on twists, and I love how it all comes together and is so heartwarming. She really captures the imagination, and the illustrations are so eye-catching, and I love the heart behind it because she wrote it to read to her grandson.
Aww.
Yes.
Granddaughter,
yes. Next we have Megan Holmes. Yes. From Elba Lake, she just wrote Musical Thunderstorm. It was published just over a month ago. This fun and beautifully illustrated children's book follows a little girl who's afraid of storms, which a lot of kids are. Even adults are scared of storms. But instead of staying afraid, she transforms into a musical party. And it is so beautiful. The illustrations are gorgeous. And you can tell that Megan was actually afraid of storms as a child. And I love it when people take what they were once scared of and they help others. So, and she's already been out of state reading it to all these kids.
Wow.
So exciting. So see what I mean when I'm talking about such talented authors, and they all just have such unique, beautiful books. So I can't wait for all of you to hear from their perspectives. And so I have some panel questions that we're going to go through, and maybe we'll start on with Carol on that side. Is that okay? All right. Don't be scared of the microphone. It's all good. All right. So we are going to do some warm-up introduction questions. What first sparked your desire to write your book?
Well, this particular book started out at the Bemidji State Park. And we were up there with our grandchildren. Our youngest was 7 years old at the time. She's a graduate now. So it's been a few years. And I love to do rhymes. In fact, in some places I'm known as a rapping grandma, but just kind of flows out of me, but I've been doing that since I was a kid. So anyway, we went on the bog walk there, and if you haven't been up there, I'd encourage you to go. And when we got in the car, I said to our granddaughter Caitlin, okay, while we're going back to the house to see the other family, we're going to write all the words that rhyme with bog.
Oh.
And first of all, we're going to say that Or no, somebody lives there. What's his name? Bob, she said. I said, okay. And then he has 2 pets, and was Frog and Dog. And then my husband said, yeah, but it has to be the dog. His name is Frog. That's kind of how that goes. Okay, so that was the inspiration. I got back to the house. I got more words that rhymed from the rest of the family. I went to the back bedroom and wrote the story.
Oh, wow.
And
That is amazing.
so I'll tell you more later.
Kara.
I got started with my inspirational writing in the summer of 2009. I was mowing my maternal grandmother's lawn, and I got these ideas that came into my head, and I wrote some down, took notes, and then I'm the church secretary at North Emmanuel Lutheran Church, so I put the column in my newsletter and got positive feedback.
Wow.
And I just been writing inspirational type devotionals and also some with animals. Been in my care.
Yes. Oh, I love that. How about you, Jean?
Well, we took our grandson, his name is JJ, into our home when he was 7 months old. And over the next couple of years, we finally discovered that he had autism. And over the next many years, there was many struggles. Many things happened, some good, some bad, but what we had to go through. So he was in group homes and in his own apartment in Moorhead with care. But then in 2020, we decided that we bought a set of twin homes in Starbuck, and we wanted to get him living one side and us on the other side. And we moved there in May of 2020, so guess what was happening then?
Oh.
COVID.
Oh.
So here we are, we're new in Starbuck, don't know anybody, so time to write about it. And the reason I wrote about it, wanted to get it published so that parents and caregivers of other people with autism would be able to read it and know what the journey might be like.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Sue, how about you?
My book was inspired because my mother had an idea. It's truly her idea, the whole book. She brought it to me, I don't know, probably 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And she said, Susie, do something with this. And she handed me all her notes. And I said, okay, I will. And I didn't. I put it in my underwear drawer, and I didn't do it. And then I'd come across it, and I'd think, shoot, I need to get going on this. And then my mother got cancer and died.
Oh.
And so she never knew that I did finish it for her. But it's her story. I turned it into a rhyme to make it fun, and it's a fun little story, but she was my inspiration.
Wow, that is so sweet.
Wow.
Oh.
So my story was completely, God laid it on my heart to write this story. I think to work through a fear that I had of thunderstorms for a really long time, longer than I probably should admit. And so yeah, I got the idea and it wouldn't go away.
Wow, that is so good.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Little Sparks of Romance. I was an elementary teacher for 25 years, and every summer I would spend part of my day writing short romances for this Women's World magazine. And they get a lot of submissions every week, every month, and so it's really difficult to get accepted. So I had a collection started of rejected stories, and I did actually, I've had 4 now published in the magazine. But anyway, so I had this collection of short stories, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a 3-ring binder with all these stories and hand them to my kids and say, this is what your mom did. But then I went to a workshop that Kelly had, and she helped me turn it into something much more beautiful than a 3-ring binder. So, and then the Be Prayerful, I often do prayers for a church, prayers of intercession, and I like to make them a little bit personal and add not just intercession for others, but thankful for blessings. And it's been well received in my church, and I've had people from church encourage me, you should publish them, or at least put them in a 3-ring binder, or staple them together. And so once again, absolutely beautiful book. I love what Kelly did with this one.
So fun.
I basically was told to write a book. I was sitting and pouting one day because I wasn't able to serve like the rest of the church group was, and I was told to write a book, and there was nobody in the room, so I know it was the Lord. And I said, no, I'm not the author. Kelly is. I love Kelly's books, and I said, she's the one that's the author, not me. And I was told, no, you do it. I gave you everything you need. And so I just wrote what he told me to write.
That is so amazing.
Well, growing up, we were chunky kids, but we didn't know what we were doing. We tried every diet in the book. So we finally found one. Mom brought us into her room and she's like, I found the one. I signed us up for it. It's no sugar, no flour, and 3 weight meals. So we just had done keto, did it for 3 weeks, lost weight, and then gained it all back, plus some. But I'm like, okay, we can do anything for 2 weeks. So it was this 2-week plan, so we're like, sure. So it was no sugar, no flour, and when we started, the detox was crazy, because who knows that sugar is more addictive than crack cocaine. We all know. Nobody has ever gone on a broccoli run at midnight. No, we all go on ice cream runs, because John, snowstorm, go get us some ice cream. So we cut out sugar and flour, and then we got so done, I could not eat another meal of baked chicken and steamed broccoli again. I'm like, if I do this, I quit. So I saw a recipe online that was for these chickpea blondies, but of course it had maple syrup and all this stuff, and we don't eat that. So I thought, I could make this work for me. So I started with that recipe, I fell in love, and then I'm like, ooh, this is fun. So Kelly started a Facebook group for this no sugar, no flour, and it grew to like 50,000 members. So I started sharing some of my recipes on there, and people loved them. So we had started a little get-together group here, and I thought, okay, Mom and Kelly, we should just write a cookbook for that. And they're like, well, why don't you just write it? I thought, I'm just a baby. I can't write a cookbook. Nobody's going to take me seriously. Me. I'm the youngest. So Kelly's like, I'll even publish it for you. So she helped me design the first one, put it all together, and when I got the proof in my hand, I was shaking. But once I put it out there, people loved it, because everybody got stuck on steamed broccoli and baked chicken, and they were all going to give up too. So they started loving it, so then it just kind of grew into more, and these are like diaries of what I eat in a day. Okay, not in a day, but in a while. And that's just the inspiration, is I found somebody else's struggle, just like mine, and we kind of worked together to help them out.
Awesome. Well, before we get to question number 2, Bethany Weiss has arrived. Hi, Bethany. We're so happy you could make it. Thank you. Thank you. But, okay, so I won't go back to the PowerPoint because it'll mess it up. But Bethany Weiss, she's from here in Fergus, and she wrote Pretty Parsley, and it was published in 2022. If I could describe her book in one word, it would be charming. The story is so unique and heartwarming, and is told from a perspective of a plant, Pretty Parsley herself, and it teaches kids all about vegetables, gardening, and healthy foods, and the illustrations are so colorful and fun, and I love the way she makes this children's book come to life. And it's not super childish, but it can be enjoyed by a variety of ages, and that's really all the authors that have written children's book. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it, I think more than kids do sometimes. But so anyway, so let me get back to my notes. So Bethany, what sparked your desire to write a book? Oh, I didn't even show her how to use the microphone. I turned it on. Oh, perfect, thank you.
You did? What inspired me? Well, I'm a farm kid. When I got married, I didn't really know how to do dishes, actually, because I was just in the barn, climbing trees, doing all the boy stuff. I had 3 brothers. But just loved anything to do with animals, dirt, bugs. And so a few years ago, well, I've always had a garden and always canned. And I just enjoyed it so much, and we had neighbors next door that had 4 little kids, eventually had 6, the newbies. And the kids come over all the time and help pick the little tomatoes and digging in the dirt. And it was just so exciting for them that I was inspired to write them a book. That's how it got it started.
Oh, so sweet.
And I had a parsley plant, a huge parsley plant, so that's where I got the name. And it sort of came from my love of nature and my love for the little neighbor kids. And just wrote the book. And
I love it.
I've got a couple other ones started, but I've lost my inspiration somewhere.
Oh, you'll get it back.
I hope
Yes,
so.
you will. Events like this inspire me to get back to writing. So, yeah. I think we will just, the next question is basically what we just answered. So is that okay with you authors if I move ahead to the next question? Okay. How would you describe your book in 1 to 2 sentences? Ooh, that's kind of hard. Carol, do you mind going first again?
It's fun, it's hilarious, but also educational.
Good. Awesome. Bethany, how about you? How would you describe your book in 1 to 2 sentences?
My book is educational as well, and I've had adults tell me.
Oh,
they
okay.
learned.
Do you mind using the microphone? Sorry. We want to hear what you have to say.
My book is educational, and the adults love it and have told me they have learned things from my book.
Oh,
For
that's
example,
so
there's black radishes.
Wow. Kara.
Mine are inspirational and informative.
Very, yes. Jean?
Well, I don't know. I guess my book on living with autism was, I guess, revealing and going back and looking at what we had gone through.
Wow.
And most of the people that we've given the book to or sold it, or relatives that read it, when they read it, they said the same thing, was revealing. They didn't realize what we went through and do that. And the poems my mother wrote, that book is just, it's the love of my family. So.
Oh, that is so sweet.
My book, Marcus, the Christmas Mouse, Marcus challenges Santa Claus, and Santa Claus, kind of stands his ground, and Marcus stands his ground, and even though Santa Claus is an authority figure for Marcus, he sticks to his guns and he wins in the end.
I love that.
My book goes from a little girl named Emily who is terrified of storms to, she creates the song in her mind to then, by the end of the story, she's no longer afraid of storms anymore. she turns them into something fun, so a fear into something fun.
That's awesome.
Okay. I would describe this as 37 short, sweet, clean, meet cute romances. It's like Hallmark in a book.
I love Hallmark.
I love it.
Oh, the other one, how to pray to God when you don't know what to say, because it's put in topics like prayers for every day of the week, prayers for every month of the year, and so on, different topics.
I know it.
Oh, I heard you just heard.
I'd say my books are educational and to get people saved, because they all have salvation prayer in them.
That's awesome.
Well, simple recipes you don't need an interpreter to understand. Simple ingredients you can find through your local grocery store. And then packed full of delicious flavors that don't taste like a goat made them on top of a mountain. Because we've all had those recipes. We're like, what is this? not those.
That's good.
Thank you.
All right, next question. What surprised you most about becoming an author? Carol. She gets to go first every time. We'll switch it up. We'll switch.
Okay, yeah. I don't really have words for that.
Okay,
I don't know.
that's perfectly fine.
Bethany, how about you? What surprised you most about becoming an author?
Well,
I know, it's hard to remember.
maybe I'm not supposed to be heard.
Oh.
I could take my sunglasses off. I had eye surgery and I'm scary, but I'm kind of scary sitting here with glasses on too.
Yeah. She's just cool.
So what surprised me, I'm not surprised about becoming an author because my mother was, and one of my 3 sons was a writer. What surprised me, I've got boxes of stories. The surprise was getting it into an actual book form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of steps there. How about you, Kara?
Well, once I found a publisher, I thought it was a pretty easy process to go through.
Awesome. Well,
Wasn't
that's good.
something I'd ever thought I'd do.
I guess I agree with her. Before I came in contact with Kelly, I checked online for publishing companies and stuff, and it was going to be quite expensive. So I guess I was surprised how simple it was to do it this way. So, and I had my nephew's wife she'd published a book through Kelly prior to that, so she told me about Kelly, and it was great. So.
Oh, good. Whew. No.
I'm just going to echo everybody else. I think I was surprised how you made it happen.
Oh,
Thank you. Wow. I would have to agree with them too on that. I don't know what quiz that was. I don't know if mine's on. Maybe it's mine.
I don't think so. Okay, let's try that.
Maybe. I shut mine. I felt like also a little bit, at least for me, there was a little bit of emotion going on that I wasn't expecting. I had this idea to publish this book, I don't know, it's been a long time. And then to actually have it done and in my hands was a huge deal. But then when I actually shared it with people, and then you're kind of like expecting a little bit of feedback, and like at first people were like I didn't really receive any, and I was like, why did I do this? And because I had a lot of people God took this book and blew it up, way more than I was anticipating it ever to be blown up. And so then Satan started using that good that God was doing and was getting in my head a little bit, and my husband was like, you gotta stop. He's like, God, this is Satan talking to you, and this book is good, Megan, and you know it is. And so there was a lot of mixed emotions at first, for me anyway. But like I said, it's been amazing.
Wow, that is amazing.
I would agree with what everybody said, and I'll just add personally, the thing that surprised me the most was how intense and grueling editing was. Oh my goodness. But we did it.
I'll echo everybody else. Kelly being the publisher, it was easy to work with as she is. What surprised me the most is that I actually was obedient to God and listened and didn't argue the second and third time when he told me to do it.
Well, like everybody said, being a self-published author gives you a lot more freedom, and it makes things possible that you would have never thought possible. I never thought in my whole life that I would be a cookbook author and that people would like it and that it'd be sold all over the world. I never thought that. But then when you dive in and you're just like, you know what, I feel like God's telling me to do this, and you start it and you take that step forward, when you do that, God can make your dreams come true. Like, look at all these amazing authors. This is just dreams come true. Kelly was at one event, and there was a lady there who was a published author, and she has a book hidden underneath her bed that was like her favorite one, but a publisher wouldn't pick it up. So all of your dreams got to come true. I love it.
Love it. All right, well, we made it through the warm up. All right, now we're going to talk about writing journey. Yes. What did the writing process look like for you? Was it structured, spontaneous, or somewhere in between? And we'll start on this end this time. Give Carol a little break.
All right, Carol, you're up. What should I say?
Now you can think.
It's semi-structured, so I'll be inspired once in a while, and I'll just write that little inspiration down, because my cookbooks aren't just recipes, but I have in there true life stories, and then inspirational things also, because weight loss isn't just recipe, but it's a whole lifestyle thing. So I have, in each book, I have those, and it's kind of been, you take that little piece of information or inspiration, and you just have to get it out. You just have to write it down. My mom would always say, just write it down. You can always edit it later. She would tell us and Kelly and I if we would get stuck. And then once you get there, then there starts a flow, an inspirational flow, and then you can edit it from there. So structured, not structured, yes.
I'd say the same thing, structured, not structured. It was, I would say, spontaneous, because I just wrote what I was told to write, you know? So I would say it was structured, because he's the one that gave me what to say.
Awesome. I am not sure what I am, but what I do when I'm writing these little stories is I have them all written in my head. I don't even really start until I have most of the story in my head. And I've tried it the other way, where you have an outline and you just let the story tell itself, and that doesn't work for me. It's got to be up here, and then I can write it.
I would say mine was a little bit spontaneous, because I sat down and wrote the book in one night.
Wow.
That's crazy. But it was completely God's hand in all of it. So anyway, wow.
Mine's the opposite. Mine again sat in the drawer for years and years, and then I would get it out during Monday Night Football because I didn't want to watch football. and then I would put it away again. So I would say it just bits and pieces. So years and years.
Wow.
Well, living with autism, that started when JJ, when he was in school, we always sent this communications book with, so that the teacher would write in there every day. Well, we saved all of them, so I had several boxes full of them. So when I decided to write the book, go through, look at notes from every day. So that was quite a process, you know, to go through. And the poems my mother wrote, that was, if any of you have, you know, read the Senior Perspective, you know, religiously for the last how many years. In the 90s and up until about 2015, my mother had a poem in there probably more than half of the time. So, and she kept them. So I went through and, you know, got all those poems. And then there's also a few poems in there, that a couple that I wrote, a couple that my brother wrote. And that was just, you know, a matter of, it took time, but it was just a matter of, you know, putting them into.
Grandma too. Grandma.
Yeah, my grandmother wrote one, her brothers wrote. Where my mother was an artist, she had two brothers that were artists, and they, you know, were, you know, good poets too. So.
Wow, it's amazing. How about you, Carol?
It's more structured when I write. Once I have a topic, I like to find a Bible verse to go with it, and then I just go from there.
Wow, it's amazing.
I don't really know how to answer the question.
Okay.
I just got inspired and wrote little notes. That's if I'm thinking something about a potato, and write a little note. And so then we came together really quickly. My sister Joan, and I think it was Carol, inspired me called my book unique. There's no books like that. Yours is unique. So I just thought, I better get it together, and I did.
By the way, Bethany and I are cousins. We grew up across the road from each other.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Anyway, this particular book that I have featured here was very spontaneous, as I told you at the beginning. I've written other things that are not published that are more structured. So, was that the question?
Yeah, great. Great answers. All right, next up we have, was there a moment when you almost gave up on your manuscript, and what helped you keep going?
Absolutely. There's been many times where I almost gave up, where I'm like, this is too hard, it's not coming together. So I would just not work on that for a while. Or there'd be a recipe that would just, there's just something about it, it just won't work. So I'm like, whatever. So I just move on. So some of those didn't make it through. But then like some inspirational stories where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna write it down. I can always edit it later. And then sometimes you get a little Google help, or I'll be like, Kelly, help me, or my mom, help me. And they'll give me inspiration to, oh, what if you did this or change this? And that's like the key thing. Or I'll be at church and I'll get like the rest of the inspiration. I'm like, there it is. So you just, sometimes you gotta wait. There's always that creative block. And there's always, I've kind of noticed this because Kelly will be working with clients, that every person comes to that where it's that creative, you gotta go through it. And you just have to keep going through the wall and just keep, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going through. And you come out on the other end. Because there's one spot where it's just ugly and you're like, what is this? But you have to keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, after with the first one, Gaddy's Journey, after I'd first written it, I had it sitting for quite a while because I didn't think it was good enough. And we were here at the church doing something, I don't remember what we were doing. And I walked off by myself because Satan was feeding me all this stuff. So I walked off by myself and I looked down and I found a rock where somebody painted believe. And it was okay, Lord.
Wow.
I'll publish it. And I asked Kelly to publish it then.
That's awesome.
I can honestly say I don't think I ever had that moment, because as soon as I met Kelly and I knew that this could happen, I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote, and I did not ever, I was just so excited to get it done with both books. And like I said, I write in my head, and so my husband can attest to this. We'll be out for a walk and he'll be talking, and pretty soon it's silent, and he goes, you're pretty quiet. And, oh, you're writing, aren't you? Yeah, I am. I just kept going.
That's awesome.
For the actual manuscript, I would say no to the publishing process, on the other hand, until I met Kelly. It was a whole other story.
We did come across many new things that were updates this year. And I was like, I've never seen this before, I'm so sorry. But she was so patient and just, okay, all right.
That worked.
Oh, as I said, I gave up on this book 100 times, but it was your workshop that got me going and through it.
Wow. That's awesome.
I guess I was questioning, you know, at first when I was trying to figure out how to get it published, but then once my nephew's wife put me in touch with Kelly, then, you know, it was full go then, so.
No turning back.
Yeah.
I haven't really given up on a manuscript once I started getting things published. If I have an idea, I kind of like to finish it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, what was the question again?
Yeah, it was there a moment when you almost gave up on your book, and what helped you keep going?
I didn't want to give up on this book. It was fun and delightful. What I need to do was finish the other book I was writing when I stopped to write this one.
Excuse me. Okay, so when I wrote this, my husband would say, so when are you going to get that published? And then I'd read the story to the grandkids, and so you need to get that published, Grandma. And it just kind of kept up like that. But I thought, well, I can't do that. I am an artist of sorts, but I had to have an artist that could bring the story to life. And it was, I believe, a God connection that Anna and I met. Can I introduce her?
Of course,
now, or-
yes.
Okay, so, because I don't want to interfere with you.
No,
Yeah.
go
All right.
for it.
So, the whole thing has been God connections from the beginning, and I was at a painting class that Anna did at the Alliance Church in Detroit Lakes, and she was in the process or had just finished, I believe, yeah, you just finished painting ideas for a mural that was going to be painted on a 25-foot wall or 30-foot wall over in Angola.
Whoa.
A missionary had asked her if she would do that. And after taking the class and looking at her work, I thought, I'm going to ask her if she would be interested in doing the artwork for this book. And I'm going to turn it over to her now, if that's okay.
Sure.
Just to give her story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had never illustrated a book before, and I thought, well, it was in 2020 when I think it was 2019, but I started on your book in 2020, and I had been teaching classes, and a lot of things got canceled because of COVID, and so another thing, like my schedule had opened up, and I had time to work on her book, because it does take a lot of time to illustrate a book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of, I can talk about the process too if anyone has questions, but I don't know when you want me to do that.
Nice. Great. All right, next question. What part of writing your book brought you the most joy? Natalie.
Ooh, about writing the book. I think making the covers. That's probably one of my favorite part is making the covers, because then you pick the best looking food to go on the front cover, because you don't want like, oh, some of these don't look very good, but they taste good. So you always pick the best one. And then publishing it, and then seeing the reviews from other people, because yeah, I might like these recipes, but John says I eat really weird food anyways, my brother. But then seeing other people that are loving it, and then they put reviews like, oh, this recipe just made my life so much easier, and that kind of stuff. I think that's the greatest for me, is seeing other people helped by it.
I think mine was being able to find the caterpillars or the eggs, and the whole process of taking the pictures of every cycle of the caterpillar when it turned into the chrysalis, as I was able to video it, as it emerged, being able to video it, just the whole process of being able to take the pictures in that way. And in Lululapsi, being able to take pictures of other service dogs, like the Ottertail County Sheriff's Office met me out at Phelps Mill, and I got to take pictures of the canine out there. And yeah, just being able to take the different pictures of, and to be able to raise the butterflies.
Wow. That's amazing.
I have to steal Natalie's answer. I have a different one here that I might share too, but the cover, oh my goodness. So I kind of knew what I wanted, and I told Kelly, and she found something that was just absolutely gorgeous, and then she does so many beautiful embellishments, and I love the cover. But what I had written too was, when I write a story, then I let it set for a couple of days, because you're too close to it, and then I'll go back and read it. And mine are very short, so it was pretty quick little exercise to do. But the second time that I'd read my story, I'd get to the end, and they're very short little romances, and I'd go, aww. And that just brought me so much joy. So I thought, if I have to love it first before anybody else can love it. So that was the joy along the way.
I would say,
Sorry for the feedback. These just
you and
stacked
I.
up. Yeah. I'll just keep my mic over here.
It was a fun God connection with my illustrator too. But so when I actually got the first illustration back, I've had this, like I said before, I had this idea in my head for the story for quite a while, and then to actually have it done, like all the manuscript done, and then to receive those illustrations was huge. I was working at the school at the time in the daycare, and it was like over lunch break, and when I got that first, it was the cover. The cover's a big deal. I got the cover back, and thankfully it was over my lunch break because I definitely had happy tears. I told my students seeing me like, what is going on? And I was like, I can't wait to show this to my husband Andrew, and I was freaking out, and the janitor happened to be like near the room, and he's like, you okay over there? I'm like, don't worry about me. But yeah, anyway, the illustrations was huge for me to get those back and to see my book alive in the way I kind of had dreamed it to be.
Wow. That is so cool. I love that.
The best part, most fun, was making the rhymes work. So I had to work with it and work with it and work with it, but it was a lot of fun. So, and you did the illustrations, so that was fun too.
I guess for me, it was probably the cover too. The cover of this, it says living with, and then it says autism, and it's always unique, totally interesting, somewhat mysterious. And I got that because prior to that, 3 years earlier than that, I'd done the same thing and used that. This is a poem that I wrote called I Am Autistic. And so I've had that written, and then I also had that, had a gal put it to music, and I have a CD for that.
Oh,
I Am Autistic.
And your mom's pictures.
Yeah, yeah, and my mom's pictures in here. So that was, I mean, that was, you know, the covers are, I think, very important, so.
What's brought me the most joy is sharing the message with others.
That's awesome.
Carol, go next.
Okay. What's brought me the most joy is meeting Anna. That was so great. The God connections have just been awesome. And then just kind of this size book, I had talked to a guy up at Bemidji, and he's the one that sent me to a printer up there. That's when we put it on these thumb drives. We had to put it on a thumb drive and then give it to the printer, and this is the size book I got, but it was expensive. And so then the other God connection was meeting you. I mean, it was just so awesome. I had read your books or saw your books, you know, at the coffee shop in town, and I'd just been hearing some things, and meeting you and spending time with you and the encouragement that you've given and so many ways has really given me joy. And I believe that there's always God connections when He wants you to do something. So if there's another book I'm supposed to do, I've already got some.
You're set. Awesome. Wow. Next question. Did you ever have writer's block? If so, what did you do to get past it?
Oh, well, since mine is more cookbooks, even though there are like inspirational things, I would have to wait to get inspired, because if I would try to force it, it was never good. Like, it wouldn't turn out. So I would wait to like be inspired by, oh, how to make like a pizza recipe, but without sugar and flour, because pizza is literally flour. Or like ice cream, but without sugar and flour, donuts, or that type of thing. So then it's kind of like a puzzle piece. I come into the kitchen and I'm like, I have these ingredients, what can I make out of this? And then I'll get inspired by like a recipe online or something like that, and then, I don't know, just the juices get flowing. It's kind of like the same thing if I get stuck with the inspirational part, I'll just wait until something sparks that inspiration. And then once that comes, you gotta jump on that and get it real quick.
I forgot to mention that you have 2 recipes over there. We have a sugar and flour free section around the corner, and so
one's a carrot cake bar with cream cheese frosting, and then the other is a blueberry lemon poppy seed bar with cream cheese lemon frosting.
So we can sample.
Yeah. They're delicious.
They're absolutely delicious. I had to have one of each.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had writer's block. I guess I usually, when the Lord speaks to me, it's usually at night. I lay down to go to sleep, and it's like, oh no, you don't. I've got the story for you, right? So I've had a lot going on lately. So he hasn't been talking to me about books, but I'm just waiting for him to tell me what to write again, and I'll start up.
I have to say no.
Wow.
I know.
That's
It's just,
amazing.
I've just been so excited to write both books and just kept going.
Inspirational. I actually have to say no too, but I only have one book at the moment, so.
Awesome.
But
I didn't have writer's block. I just had to, make myself sit down and do it.
I didn't have any writer's block because pretty much everything I did was based on experience. So just writing down those experiences.
I don't know, I kind of had writer's block last year in 2025. I didn't do much writing, but now I've got a couple ideas I think I'm going to go forward with.
Ooh, exciting.
I did not experience writer's block. I had trouble stopping writing to get it together.
I have experienced writer's block with other things, but not with this one.
Okay. Well, before we go to the next publishing experience questions, I thought we could take a quick break and open it up for any questions and answers for any of the authors. Any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Does everybody plan another book, or do they have one currently in mind, or are they one and done? How is it?
I love that. Okay, he's asking if we have another one in mind. If so,
Always, because I mean, you have to eat 3 times a day, so I mean, well, at least. So I do have, I'm like backlogged like 2 years on recipes, so I have more coming out. It's just making the time for it. And it's the hard spot because I've had people say, oh my gosh, 30 cookbooks, 30 plus cookbooks, it's so hard to pick through them. And then I'm like, well, do I make more cookbooks? Or do I make more different variety of cookbooks? So there's that fine line with when you have a wide variety of books. Do I keep going? So yes and no, yes.
I've basically been told to write about what I've gone through the past couple months. I'm just waiting for him to tell me how to word it and what to say.
He obviously didn't ask me that question because he doesn't know the answer. Yeah, so I was encouraged after the short stories to write a novel, to take my characters and expand on them, and so I'm working on that. So there's going to be a lot of silent walks. Because not only, I don't know where these, it's got to be, like you say, God, planting these seeds in your heart, because it's not only a novel, but I have an idea for a series, and it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to be writing for a long time. But it's a stretch though, because to go from, in the magazine it's 900 words, and then to go from that to a whole novel, it's been interesting. But I've started, so.
Yay, exciting.
that's amazing. So,
well,
no, you're good.
Does anybody else want to answer, any of the other authors want to answer the question of if you're working on anything right now or have an idea?
I can answer. I always thought that was kind of one of them.
Yeah, it's so perfect.
I currently do not. I am just very focused on this book. I guess this kind of goes along with some of the other questions down the road, but I never had a desire to write a book. So this was completely God, like I said, God planted this on my heart. It would not go away. And I keep getting asked what my next book is, and I'm like, I don't know.
You're just enjoying it now.
I'm just enjoying the moment now. Yep.
Anybody else have a comment on that?
I've thought about, and actually I've started one, but this one is 30-some years of experience, and of course he's our grandson, so we're the grandparents, so to get another thing like that, I may not be around long enough to write another one. Because if I wrote another one, it would be, I guess, probably very critical of the Department of Human Services and what services they're providing for disabled adults in Minnesota.
Yep, yeah,
So.
totally agree. Anybody else?
My focus, even though I've got a lot of poems that I have not, I don't even know how to get them published. Maybe I need to talk with you. So I do have a lot of unpublished ones, like I said. The other thing that I'm focusing in on is family history. And I like doing that and being creative with it. And so that's kind of where my focus is right now.
Nice, awesome. Any other? All right.
How about you, Kelly?
Me? Oh, yes, I am working on one. It's my first novel that is not historical fiction. And I kind of had a dream, and I should have known that God would tell me to write a modern day book after I said all these years I could never write a novel in modern day. So yes, I am, and it has 11 main characters, which is also a stretch, never had that many, but yeah, so exciting, yes. Do you have a question?
I had a question. Your books, you said, have gone all over the world, and I don't know if you have also international experience, but your books, have you had to have them translated?
Ooh.
I have had that question, and it was someone in, was it like New Zealand or something? They're like, can you put this in grams? And I'm like, no, I could barely just do ounces and like, I'm working with what I got here. I'm not a professional, but mostly there are some countries that I haven't touched yet, but I don't know if it's just because they can't find my books or they don't know about me. I'm not sure. Like China and Asia, I haven't really touched, like it hasn't gone there unless it goes through Amazon, because Amazon doesn't tell me where the books go to. They do tell you like where the royalties are paid from, because there's different Amazon. There's Amazon Canada, Amazon Australia, Amazon, all these different ones. So they'll tell you where it's from, but I've never had any from Asia. So that, but I have had it asked, could you translate these? And I said, use AI. I don't know. Google Translate. Have at it. That's a good question.
All right, we are going to move right along to the publishing experience. What was the most eye-opening part of the publishing process for you? And we will start with Carol.
Okay, back here. Well, a couple of the things that I've already mentioned, but one of the things that we learned, Kelly, when we were talking, is that Amazon won't publish this landscape design. And so that was a big learning experience for me. And by the time, you know, Anna had done all of the portrait, and I wanted it to be that way. So that's when we went with, only with, help me with the word.
Yeah, landscape or portrait instead of landscape.
Yeah, so in order to stay with this one, we had to stay with Barnes and Noble. And recently got on with Ingram Sparks, because a lot of the book sellers around like to use Ingram Sparks. So, is that the main question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a real eye-opening.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Kelly is, excuse me, Kelly's the one that helped me publish mine, and it was just a piece of cake. No problem.
Wow.
Amen.
Put that in your recipe book.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably some of the graphics in my books. Kelly made that change before they were published.
Oh yeah, I know. I had to burst your bubble and be like, I'm sorry, we'll have to change some of these, but thankfully you take amazing pictures, so that was.
The pictures were okay. The graphics were.
Oh yeah, those graphics, yeah.
I guess for me, how easy it was. You know, the whole process.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
And the same for me, just how easy it was.
So before God connected me with Kelly, this book has been done with illustrations and everything for 3 years. Wow. And I reached out to, I don't even know, countless publishers and talked with them, and everyone kept telling me, like all the publishers kept telling me it was going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to publish this book, and it was going to take 2 to 3 years to have it published, and I was like, no. That's a lot of money, and then a lot of them told me too that they could only publish it in certain ways, like the picture on one side, words on the other, and I said, absolutely not. My book is a full color book, children's book, and that's how I want it done. And so there was always, like, as I talked through these publishers, because there was a couple times that I was like, Andrew, I think I found the publisher. And then there was always this God's like, no, nope, and because I did a lot more research into it, and I would talk to, well, actually I talked to the librarians a lot, and or in Elbow Lake, and they were just like, nope, I'm not doing this. And then God connected me with Kelly, and it was like the answer to prayer. Wow. It was so like, oh, it was that easy. I'm like, okay, I contacted her. I know the date because I was that excited about it. January 28th of this year, and she had my book published in a month and a half. And the cost was.
That is so cool.
That's the soft cover, and then the hardcover now was like 2 months, but that was just because Barnes and Noble. Yeah. That was not Kelly's fault. Wow. But yeah, so like I said, Kelly was a complete answer to prayer.
Yes.
I trust
Sorry. She is the book publishing angel. Technology was the thing that was holding me back from even trying it on my own. I knew that would never happen because technology is a bugaboo for me. I remember I submitted my manuscript to her, and it must have been in different formats or whatever, and she said, very sweetly, because she's always so positive and so sweet, she goes, it might work easier if you'd put it in a PDF form, and I'm going, how do I do that? And so then she sends you the step-by-step instructions, and yeah. Maybe you should have an Instagram account. How do I do that? She's my angel.
Wow.
I'll agree with that. She is the publishing angel. I was kind of surprised. I wanted my book to be a cardboard, a children's hard cardboard thick book, and none of the places, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, none of them would do it. So Kelly just said, let's do it like this, and it was super, super easy. She, like everyone's saying, she is the publishing angel.
I will say that we found out with Megan's hardcover book right there that Barnes & Noble have changed some of their rules, so we should talk. Okay, we'll get a hardcover now.
Definitely, yeah. That was probably the most eye-opening for me, is how it has changed over the years. Because when we first started, we were using, Publisher to make the covers. And then you kind of grow as you go, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. But Kelly is just so fast at it. Without Kelly, there's been a couple times where I'm like, okay, I made like one edit, so I'm going to try to upload it myself. And I click on things and I'm like, ooh. Don't touch this. I have to wait for my publisher because, you click on something and you could ruin it and be in Barnes & Noble jail for how long? And Barnes & Noble, you can't contact them. There's like no way. You can't call them. You can only email them. And they'll get back to you in like 3 to 5 decades. It's horrible. But Kelly is the guru. And the nice thing with Kelly is you can do as much as you want to do. So if I want to have her, Kelly, because she designed these covers, and then I started designing these covers with her help, of course. So I'm like, Kelly, how can we make this? And then once I got the format, then I'm like, I can run with this. So I don't have to wait and make her do all the work. I can be like, Kelly, I did all of this, have at it. And then she reformats it, and she makes it beautiful. Because I guess there's guidelines. You've got to stick in certain things, and she just works with you so great. Because she'll be like, oh, you want this? And I'm like, I trust you. You go right ahead. I don't care. Whatever you think, Kelly.
Well, all of you authors have been so patient because sometimes you'll get a book and it's the proof and there'll be a white line at the bottom. It's like, where did that come from? It's like, oh, and I had one author, not here, who he had changed some things, and so when he got the first proof, which that's what it's for, to edit, there were some errors in it, and he was quite upset. And he came to me and he said, well, how come this didn't get fixed and this get? I said, because I missed that one. I'm sorry, you know. And he said, oh, I thought you push a button and it just does it all. Boom. I wish. I want that button. Because, and so I'm really sorry, but we just work together. I love it. Thank you. All right. Next question. How did publishing your book change your perspective on writing or storytelling? Carol.
How it changed my perspective? Yeah. Is that what?
Yeah. I know, they're kind of small.
Yeah. Okay. My perspective from what?
Yeah, so before you published your book, you might have thought of, you know, how you're going to write, but now that you know the process, you know, how has that changed your perspective?
It can be long and tedious until you find the right person to work with. And because there's so many questions, and where do you even start? And there's so many people that are inspired and they've got things sitting, not knowing what to do with them. And I know people that have spent the thousands and thousands of dollars to get their books published. And so that has been a real eye-opener for me. And then to have the encouragement of other people, and I think, is that kind of what the answer to your question right now? Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
I don't really know if I'm gonna publish any more books or not. I'm not discouraged. I'm just happy with what I did, and Kelly helped me out with everything. The story I'm working on now is sort of my life story. Mom, Dad, and 6 kids raised on the farm across from my cousins. And I do definitely want to get that done, if it's just for my own kids and grandkids. I don't know if anyone else would be interested in reading, although it's cute and funny and informative, and I'm using all the original black and white pictures from when I was a kid.
That is
So it's fun just to look at the pictures. And I don't know if that answered your question.
Publishing has made it easier for me to share my message with others.
Awesome.
What was the question?
I know, it's kind of a different question. How did publishing your book change your perspective on writing or storytelling?
Well, I think the one thing is, like she said, writing your family story, and I think that can be very important. I don't come from a big family, but my sister kind of created a big family. She had 6 kids, and it seems like they all have 6. So, you know, from my mother and father's, you know, down now there's like 70 of them. And I think it's important to tell that story so that they can, you know, continue telling that story to their kids.
Yeah.
Just that it's not as difficult as you might think.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I guess mine was probably.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, it's the magnetic. I'll just, there, I unplugged it. Go ahead.
You know what? Me and Norma can share. You use this.
I think it's me though.
I'll just put this one up.
Okay.
I guess guess I would say that from the amount of people that have asked me what my next story is going to be, that I think at some point down the line I will probably be writing another one, which I never thought I would. I never thought I'd write a first one, like I said, let alone continue to write. But I'm just kind of waiting to see what God has me write about next.
I guess my perspective would be that it's given me more confidence that I can do this and I have stories to share and I can focus on the creativity part of writing, and Kelly will help me do the PDF file.
I guess if my perspective is if you're obedient and do as you're told and talk to Kelly and have her publish it, it's a breeze.
Because you always think, oh, they're a published author. Oh, they put this together. You see other cookbooks and you're like, they have to be famous. Then when I found out how easy it was, I'm like, oh, if they could do it, I could do it. And then Kelly just made it even easier that I was like pumping out a book a month. I'm like, okay, this is easy. Now when I see other cookbooks, I'm kind of like, I wonder if they have a fabulous publisher to make it as easy as this was, because this is pretty much, I just put it in and I'm like, here you go, Kelly, have at it. And then she just puts it all on there and she just asks me what price I want and everything, and I'm like, you go right ahead, Kelly.
Oh gosh. Well, maybe for the sake of time, maybe we should open it up again for any question and answers, and you can ask like everybody, or you can ask a specific author. So, any questions? Yes.
How did you guys find your illustrators? Or who I mean, you ended up with your illustrator, but everybody else, like, I know some of you did pictures and stuff, but like Megan, how did you find your illustrator?
Mine was a really cool God connection there. My cousin, she's a phenomenal artist, she's more like abstract art, so I had talked to her, but she's like, I can't draw people. I was like, okay. Her roommate in college was also a phenomenal artist. And so I reached out to Callie and I said, hey, would you be interested in illustrating this book? I have this idea. I have really rough like sketches of what I kind of want for each page. And she's like, yeah, I'd love to do it. But I actually have somebody in mind that would be a better fit for you. And at the time, I think she was like an art professor. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. But I think she was an art professor at Northwestern College in Iowa. And it was one of her students that actually illustrated my book for me. And she was going into like children's illustrations, and she was seriously phenomenal. Like she took my really, really rough sketches and like blew my mind with them. I'm like, oh, babe. Like, every single time she was probably thinking I'm crazy, because every time she would email me back, she's like, here, I started this page, and I'm like, ah! And then I go home and I'm like, Andrew, look at this. So that's how I got connected with my illustrator. She was, like I said, absolutely phenomenal, and she was so fun to work with, and yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting for the hardcover to finally like send her one, and I'm like, hey, look at her book. So yeah, anyway.
Anybody down there have any comments on that?
I'll just add, okay, so you know the connection that we had and have, but I really feel like there was so many things that we worked together on, and so would you just share a little bit about that, Anna, how we worked together on getting the pictures and the words?
Yeah, so when she gave me her manuscript, she had it kind of, and some authors like to have a certain amount of words on a page, and she had her pages already all picked out, and so drawing the pictures for her story was pretty easy. I could see it in my mind's eye when I read the story. I loved the rhyming and the cadence of the book. And so my first step was to kind of do just a black and white quick sketch of what I was seeing and having her feedback on it. So we go through all the pages and she would tell me notes and I could change it if we wanted to. And then after we go through it like that, then I went through and I painted each page, as you can see over here. And then we would scan those into digital format. I'm kind of an old school artist. I don't really work with digital art much, but I I love working with my hands and with the mediums. But there's a lot of digital artists now that will just do it all, and it's easy to change on, on a digital format. But that's kind of how we worked together. And it's nice, like a good illustrator will, I guess, I feel like I want to make sure that we have the same vision, and so sharing the sketches beforehand and talking, doing a character study and saying, what do you think about these characters? Is this kind of what you're envisioning? And each character through the book has to be consistent, So that's kind of, as an illustrator's perspective, working with another author and trying to get that vision together.
Nice.
One of the things along with that, I just want to share, to have people read the book and you get feedback before we get too far into it. And one of the things, my granddaughter was so intrigued with a hedgehog. She wanted a hedgehog, and you know how darling and cute they are. But when I gave it to a ranger at a park to read, she said, "Carol, I love the book. However, there are no hedgehogs in Minnesota."
Oh.
So that's why I had to go with groundhog og.
That's cute. Did you have a question?
Yeah. Did anyone else consider using a pen name?
Oh, a pen name. So some other different author name than your real name.
I didn't, but my illustrator initially, so 3 years ago when we had this, when I had this book illustrated, she had a pen name. And then when I found Kelly, and I went to actually publish it, and I told her, I'm like, our book is finally being published, she switched back to her real name. But initially she initially had a pen name for hers, but I personally have never used a pen name, no, or wasn't planning on it.
Wow, good question.
I just published my book St. Patrick's Day.
Congratulations.
I did use a pen name because there's family incest rape, some of those things in there. And I chose a name that felt really good to me and made me sell the book. Ireland is my dog's name.
Ooh.
And O'Malley, because I'm Irish and I'm related to the famous female Irish pirate Grace O'Malley.
Oh.
So, but then now people are saying, are you going to out yourself? Well, I've outed myself all over the place. So it was more out of anonymity for them than for me.
Wow, okay. Huh. Yeah, I suppose if you're writing about true facts and it's a little touchy subject, yeah. Any other questions? All right, so since we could end at 3:30, we didn't really do an ending time. This is the first time we've ever done this, and we're thinking about maybe making it an annual thing. So this is all new to everybody. But before we end, is there anything that we didn't cover that you guys, any of you really wanted to say before we? Yes, Carol.
Okay. One of the fun things that I've had is, and this is a big thing, is marketing. I found. How do you get the word out there? So I went and traveled around to a lot of bookstores, talked to many different people. Because of the nature of my book, I was able to go out to Tamarack Refuge and do what they call Wild Wednesday out there. It's north of Detroit Lakes, and read my book, and then their focus was on frogs. And so that was really a fun project. And then Anna was, and I'll have her tell you about that, but she was invited to come to the library at Pelican Rapids and talk about illustrating.
Ooh.
So the Pelican Rapids Library does an event, a fundraising event, and they invite author, and they invited an illustrator. 1 year where I was able to go and talk about the whole process of illustration, and that was really fun. I love to talk about the whole process because it was a huge learning experience for myself. I've now illustrated 3 books, and I'm working on 2 right now.
Oh my gosh.
And so now that I've done it a couple times, I do feel a little bit more confident, but I learn every single time. And when you you know, when you do something for another person, but when it comes to illustration, they all have different ideas of what they're looking for.
Mhm.
And so just trying to be very flexible to meet their needs with their books. But yeah,
The street fair.
yeah, and the street fair, having Carol's book along with my other art and stuff that I've sold at the street fair, and being able to like sign the books and meet the people, and kids love to meet authors and have them sign their book. It's just really special for them.
So cool. Yes. Anybody else on this side have anything they'd like to share?
Yeah, I would. I mean, my book, Living with Autism, is about autism, and it seems like, well, I wear one of these all the time, Autism Awareness, and April happens to be Autism Awareness Month. And what happens is, if I'm someplace, oh, that nice. And it seems like almost anybody you talk to has a family member or knows somebody with autism. So I say, well, here, take this and wear it and give it to them. So I have some of them, and I have some communication bracelets for autism. Like my grandson is nonverbal, so he uses these for, you know, basic phrases.
Oh, wow.
So I've got some of these available if anybody, you know, is interested in those also.
Awesome. We just have a mic that's running out of battery, so that's what that humming noise is. So we're trying to figure out which one it is. Anybody else on this side have anything to share yet that you didn't get to?
I had trouble, I didn't know how to, you know, get it out there where people knew I had the book. It is on Amazon, but I basically give mine away to people because I'm not a salesperson and I'm not pushy, and here's a book. Happy birthday. So, you know, if I was going to put time and money into another one, I would want more knowledge on how to get it out there, to share it, instead of just passing them around when I meet someone.
Yeah, I know they say publishing a book is like birthing a child, and marketing for a book is like raising that child. It is never ending, and you just have to learn as you go. And yeah, so I know I wish I had it figured out, but Natalie's got it figured out. But that's like her full time.
Do I? You don't.
Oh.
Once you think you have it figured out, then the algorithm changes. So you just consistency is key.
Yeah,
You just
enjoy the
a lot of times you hear this, is it the product? Is it nobody likes this person? Or is it because nobody knows about them? And 99% of the time it's because nobody knows. Because in the day of social media, it's so hard to market nowadays. Even like this event, how do you market this? How did you all hear about this? Maybe you heard it word of mouth, maybe you saw it on Facebook, maybe you saw it, I don't know, on a flyer. Because it used to be flyers and newspapers. Not anymore. Newspapers are like almost non-extinct. Like they're not even there anymore. So you have to be consistent and post anywhere and everywhere you can.
And with the flyers, when you put them up, they're always by the bathroom hallway, in the bathroom hallway. And not everybody uses the bathrooms at the gas station. So they don't put it out where everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Because I put up flyers all over every town I go to. But they're by the bathroom.
Learning journey.
Oh, yes?
Natalie, tell about the little videos that we do to advertise and how many hits that gets.
So we're on all the social medias. So that means TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Pinterest. Because where do you go to like, I'm not on Snapchat, I don't get Snapchat. But anywho, where do you go to see stuff? Like what do you look on most of the time? And so it used to be Facebook was like #1 thing. Then it's Instagram. So what I do is I'll take, you don't even have to be on the video because they make such cool things. You can edit these little videos. You can get a video editor. My favorite is CapCut. It's a video, it's an app on your phone. And you could take pictures or videos and you can even find their templates and put it on there. And then you take just that little 10-second, 20-second video. It could be a recipe video, even just going through your books. Because I've seen other book videos and I'm like, what is this? And then I have to look at it. And then you post that. But, so you post it on one social media platform. So let's say I posted it on Facebook, got 20 views. Posted it on TikTok, got 200 views. Then you'll post it on all of them. YouTube, you'll get like 10,000 views. And it'll be the most random thing. But when you're consistent with it, then you'll see consistency with people going, oh, I need to buy that. So I heard a famous businessman, and he said, when you are marketing to somebody, the 99%, he had this like graph thing. So 99% is here. They don't care about you. They don't care about your book. They're just consumers. Good for them. But you want to find your niche. What are people that they have a problem like, oh, my kids are scared of thunderstorms, or oh, I'm so tired of these dirty books, I just want a cute romance thing, or I deal with autism. Those are the people you want to market to. You almost want to make it a little bit exclusive, where people are like, if you don't have this, you're kind of missing out. So you make that little exclusive, like, oh, I bet your kids deal with this, or your people deal with this, and then you market towards that. You don't market towards the large audience, because that's like fishing in the ocean for like one thing. No, you find where the fish are, and you fish right there. So you market towards that. And then just be consistent. You know what? Some videos are going to get views, some videos aren't. Some platforms are going to get more views, some platforms aren't. And it is a learning journey, just like the editing process, where it's tedious and you hate it, but sometimes you love it. So you just have fun with it.
Anybody else want to share anything over here that didn't get to what you wanted to say? Yes.
Okay, well, I can't be in an author panel and not share why. This is called Be Prayerful. So it's named after my mother, whose name was Bee. And after she passed away, I just wanted to honor her in any way I could. So in my classroom, we were the busy bees, and you can ask my husband, our house is decorated with bumblebees. And it's kind of cool because right now they're sort of in vogue, so I have a lot to choose from. But anyway, so this was named after her. And you just never know how a book is going to touch someone. And so I love this question that we aren't going to get to, that I'm going to get to. And it was, what was the most meaningful response that you received from a reader? And I've had people who have received this book. I gave them out as Christmas gifts, and they've been for sale. It came out in December, but anyway, people have contacted me and said, I read your book every morning. And I know it's people that are going through something, and one especially meaningful one was from a young gal who just was diagnosed with cancer, and she is not particularly religious or spiritual, but she said, my husband and I read a prayer out of your book every morning.
Wow. You know what, Deb? That's 3 videos right there. All you gotta do, just get on there and say, why is there bees on here? Who cares about bees? You know why? My grandma's name, or my mama's name is Bee, and you need this book. Buy it, or beware. Be cool, buy this book. And then the lady's got cancer.
Side gig for you now? Are you gonna do videos for us?
Ooh, I have thought about that. I have thought about making videos for other people, because I do it for our church. I've done it for Kelly. Right. I've done it for me, myself, and I. I mean, I haven't think about that.
Okay. Let me know.
Yeah. So one of the questions on here, I wanted to touch on a couple things. So one was the one that actually you touched on. So what advice would you give someone who is thinking about publishing but feels intimidated? Andrew and I, well, we were going through all these questions on the way here, but I've been reading through these questions a lot, because public speaking and talking in front of people, adults per se, I'm used to kids, like 3 to 4-year-olds. Adults is not my thing. So anyway, I've been reading through these questions a lot, and every time I've read the question, I was like, Kelly, seriously, publish through Kelly. That's not a joke. I like I had mentioned earlier, I can't even tell you the countless publishers that I went through, or not went through, but talked with, and one of the publishers even said, like, hey, you can pay me thousands of dollars to publish your book, but I'm going to take all of the rights to your book. I have the rights to change the pictures. I have the rights to change the words, but you're going to pay me thousands of dollars to do it. And I was like, who would do that? I'm like, no, that's not even, like, that's insane. And it's just like, or your other option is you can pay me thousands of dollars, but I'm not going to help you. And I'm like, again, why would I do that? So anyway, like that was the things I kept running across. And then I'm not kidding, Kelly, I saw I saw your flyer for the writing class in Alex. And I was like, her name looks so familiar, and I'm like, how do I know that name? And so I creeped. I basically
I'll do it.
and I was like, okay, I've seen her. We have a ton of mutual friends, but like, I still like could not make the connection on how I knew her. But I came across her publishing website, and I'm like, was reading through her story, and I was like, oh wow, like her story actually sounds very similar to what I've been going through. And like I said, I reached out to her that night, and boom, like God is like, here, this is who you're supposed to publish through. And the price versus what I've been going through was minimal compared to what I went through with all the other publishers. And thankfully we never, like, Andrew and I called them kind of legal scammers. Because that's what it felt like, and thankfully we never got scammed. But anyway, the other thing you just mentioned, I wanted to talk about like some of the responses that a few of them that have been the most meaningful to me. Like I said earlier too, this has been like a very emotional, like wasn't expecting some of the emotions that came out of all this. And there's been a few people, like most of them I know, that have published or done Facebook, Amazon, Amazon reviews, and my dad was one of them. But it was funny, it took a while for whatever reason. Amazon's kind of weird about that. It took a while for his review to show up, and so he's like, I did it, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing there. And it took like almost probably a week and a half, and then it finally popped up. And for whatever reason, his review hit really hard, and it was like it good. Like I'm like, wow, that was probably one of the sweetest things I think you've ever said to me. So that was really, really cool. And then also amongst all this emotional that I was feeling, like right after Andrew and I were having this conversation about how Satan was getting in my head, we went to Dollar General, and Mary Christensen, some of you may know who she is, ran into us at Dollar General, and she came running up to me, Megan, I absolutely loved your book, and just like, and I was just like, almost like literally standing in Dollar General, like almost brought me to tears. Like she just had all these really kind things to say, and I was like, oh God, I needed that. And so I was telling her later on, because she's like, will you come sign my book and like all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And so I was telling her later on, when I was signing her book or whatever, and I was like, I just need you to know that God knew I needed you in Dollar General that day. And she's like, oh, that's funny, because I'm not usually one to go out and share things like that. I'm more of a quiet, reserved person. And I was like, no, I really know God put you there for a reason. And then the other one that's been really meaningful is my kids. I have a 5.5-year-old and a 4-year-old, almost 4-year-old, he'll be like 4 in like a week, and then a 1.5-year-old, and they obviously don't understand exactly how this publishing process has worked, but they just keep seeing Mom has a lot of books, and Mom keeps reading her book a lot. But the cool thing is they too have been so excited about it, and every night I've read my book. Like he's picked it out to my 1.5-year-old for the past probably 3 weeks. He's the one that's been picking it out, and my pictures at the end of it. And so at the end of the book, every time, Mama, and he calls it kind of the Mama book. And we've read it so many times now, he actually reads it with me, kind of. And so that's been pretty fun. And my son, my other son, Owen, before I actually got this published, I had read it to my Raylan's class. She's in preschool. And so I was practicing it at home because I realized I never really read it out loud before. And so I was reading it to him, and he was like, Mom, will you read that again? And I was like, yeah, but I'll read it again, because I need to practice reading it out loud anyway. And so I finished it, and he's like, Mom, will you read it again? And I was like, yeah, but I can do that. And then he was reading it, so I started reading it and had to stop halfway through, because my other son, my 1.5-year-old, was doing something, and I'm like, I gotta stop him. But so he was like, Mom, are you going to finish this book? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm coming back. And so then I finished it, and he's like, Mom, I just want you to read this book 100 times. And I was like, but you're going to make me cry. So my kids have been amazing about it, too. It's been fun. Like I said, I went to Iowa. I'm originally from Iowa, so I got to read it to a whole bunch of schools down there. And my kids came to all those readings, and to see my kids sitting out in the audience, and they were just beaming at me as I was reading it, and I'm like, God has been so good with all this. So anyway, I just wanted to share that too.
That is so awesome. Anybody else have anything to say? Wow. Well, if I could pick, oh yes.
So I just want to encourage you, and I'm assuming people that came want to write a book or have written a book.
That's my mom back there, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
I know her.
I know her. So we have been in many libraries, public libraries, school libraries, because Kelly has done a lot of workshops there, and we have seen the books that are in libraries. Now, we were just in a library at a school, and it was lower grades, and I would venture to say, because it was a very small library, and I was able to, while Kelly was teaching, look at all the books, I would say for sure 90%, now these are children, 90% of the books were satanic. I'm not kidding. So I picked one book up because there was one table by the door. These books are ready to pick up. They've already been checked out, and they had the child's name on there. So I picked one up. One was about a girl that couldn't find her group of friends, didn't have friends. Then she finally met somebody, and they told her that they could be friends, and then she had this group of friends because she was actually a demon, and they were demons. And so then she was going to join this group, and then she would have these powers. And you know what? God needs your books. He needs your books. Not go past you and just think people are looking for your books. Parents are looking for your books. People love to read books. They want to read something that is going to be truth, something inspiring, something to bring them closer to God. Write your second prayer book. Write your second prayer book. Yes. Because those people need another book that are reading that out. And then they're going to give them away. And give books away. When you sow, you reap. That will actually sell more of your books because you have given them away. And you can put your books in libraries, check in stores where you live. They love local author books. You know what? Just go to a children's classroom and ask if you can just give your book away. Give it to the classroom. Give it to, get it out. Think past you and think about how God needs a voice. And he needs to enter into this. Really, actually, for Christians, their books should outnumber the world's. And Christians, I think that it's time for Christians to step it up and get in the marketplace and overrun the marketplace. Yeah. So I just really want to encourage you, keep writing. Just keep doing it. Just put the books out there. God will supply everything. Look at all the connections he's made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. I say all the time, God has blessed me so much. I have the dream clients. I don't even like to call you guys clients because you're my dear friends. And I am so excited, so blessed to be able to be on this journey with you all. And so thank you so much for coming, everybody. And we wanted to talk about doing this next year. I think it'd be fun to make this an annual thing. But yes, so I guess we will be dismissed, but you can, of course, talk to any authors. We all have our books out here. So yes, thank you all for coming.
And I just want to thank Kelly for being our fabulous publisher. Over 70 books, 80 books published, and for hosting this event, because without this, we would all be in our pajamas probably at home.
Well, she was busy before, but when I first started out, I'm like, thank you to my mom. She came up with the idea. She was like, you know what, it'd be so cool if you could just have all your authors come. There were 2 others that were really thinking about coming, but they live out of state. And I'm like, I get it. If you can't afford to fly here, that's fine. But yeah.
You know what? You could zoom them in next time.
Oh, that would be so fun. Yes. Yeah, next year. Awesome. And we did, we had to live stream because there were so many people that couldn't make it or live far away. And so it will be on our YouTube, Love of God Family Church, or on my personal Kelly and All Facebook page. And so you can share. It'll be on YouTube forever. Facebook only keeps it on for 30 days. But yeah, so share, rewatch it. It's kind of fun. So, all right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Kelly.